What's good, everyone? We back with another episode of Facts and Stats. Got the usual four in here: me, Mark, Ev, and Keem. We got some NBA offseason topics for y'all because it's been a very eventful week this so far in the offseason. But before we get into that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Um, keep leaving them likes. I see y'all been leaving some more likes. Keep commenting, and more of y'all need to subscribe. We look at the analytics, and we see a certain percent of y'all ain't subscribed. So make sure y'all subscribe.
Yes, sir.
But we gonna get right into it. We gonna start off with Russell Westbrook. Probably the biggest trade name so far. He requested a trade, and some destinations for Russell Westbrook include Orlando is one I've seen. Now these aren't really rumors, but these because the way the rumors work, you can't really take them serious anyway. So I'm gonna just name some destinations that make sense that I've seen on Twitter. Orlando was one, Charlotte was one, and New York was one because they always looking for a star. So I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start off with you, Mark. What do you think, Russ? What do you think would be the best team for Russell Westbrook to go to?
Well, my take on Russ, first of all, I want to say I don't think he's really a star that can lead a team, you know what I'm saying, to a finals or anything like that. I don't think he's built for that anymore. He's up in age. His birthday was just today, so you know what I'm saying. So I don't think he can lead a team anyway. But a team like the Knicks, I don't think that's gonna be a good spot for him, even though he gonna sell tickets and blah blah blah. It's just going to be a show pretty much, but it's not going to be like a playoff team or anything like that. So I don't think he's going to benefit the Knicks or anything like that. But a team I can see him going to would probably be like the Clippers. I feel like that would help them at least with a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can take that role over.
Who the Clippers?
Um,
Who the Clippers giving up for Westbrook? For Westbrook?
you can give up Patrick Beverly for one, because yeah, bro, yeah, I ain't feeling, bro. Patrick Beverly, you could probably give up one more piece, one or two pieces. Other than that, you can't give up Paul George or Kawhi. I feel like you got to keep those two for them to at least get to the finals. For them three to, you know what I'm saying, take LeBron down, you guys have three people. So I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
Okay, yeah, you would say the Clippers, so Russ could help. Never mind, I ain't even gonna go there with
Yep.
you today. but all right, so Kim, okay, so you think Mark, you think the best team for Russell Westbrook is the Clippers. So Ev, I'm gonna ask you, what team do you think has the pieces to really trade, put together the best trade package for Westbrook?
Hmm. That's a good
Not
question.
necessarily like a contending team where he'll win, but like who got what, something that Houston would trade for.
Wow. That's a hell of a question. But if I have to this is off the top. That's a great question. I'm not gonna lie. This is off the top. But one of the teams that you said interested in, I say New York. I think the Rockets sort of kind of regret making that move of moving Capella. So what they
Mm-hmm.
should do, they should open their eyes and backtrack. I know it's different ownership. Daryl Morey's gone now, but why not move Russell Westbrook? I said about to say Wilson. Why not move Russell Westbrook for a package around Mitchell Robinson, a young emerging center, athletic center, rim protector, can pretty much almost do, pretty much can fulfill that role that Capella was doing. And probably you can throw in like a Kevin Knox, a player that they drafted a couple years ago who they don't care about anymore. Pretty much, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was
yeah,
thinking. Kevin Knox.
because I know they're not going to include Julius Randle, so they're not going to include R.J. Bird, and R.J. and Harden wouldn't even be good anyway. So yeah, I say something around like a Mitchell Robinson and a Kevin Knox. That'd be a perfect fit, and also like Mark said, he's up in the age, but Westbrook got that mindset. We reported yesterday he still wants to be like the floor general. He want to be that that top dog. He's 32 today. He can't be a number one in my opinion either, but he got that mindset that he still is a number one because before he went to Houston, he did something that I think is never gonna be replicated. He averaged three straight triple doubles. So
Yeah.
Right.
he still think he that guy, and he should feel like he's that guy. But just go ahead and be that guy in New York. You know.
Okay. Okay. King, what about you? You could just throw out any team you think can make a trade.
The most I think like the strongest team that's gunning for him right now is the Hornets, really. And but I think when he go to the Hornets, it's really like if he going to the Hornets, he just probably going I wouldn't say finish his career out, but it's like it's not a contender. It's like, and teams are
Yeah,
afraid to pair Russ because he don't elevate the team at all. Really,
Right.
he kind of like, I won't even say, I don't want to say hurt, but he kind of hurts more than he helps.
I
You know,
feel you on that one. I definitely feel that because I know Westbrook averages a lot of assists, and he's a good playmaker. You got to be a good playmaker to average double digit assists in the league. But I feel like his inefficiency and the way he could muster up a lot of turnovers, it
mm-hmm.
kind of like you said, it hurts more than he helps.
Yeah, he takes a
So
he
I
takes
agree with you on that.
Yeah, he definitely takes a lot of bad shots, and then it will be, it will be okay to to pair him with RJ Bird in New York, but it would definitely hurt if he was to be paired with Kawhi and Paul George, because they both, the ball dominant uh
Right.
players on that team. So just adding Russ will just mess it all up for real.
Exactly. They
You know,
need. They need.
See, but the thing with the Clippers is what Mark said earlier. He wants to Russell Westbrook. Who said that? Did you say that Russell Westbrook wants to be the floor general? You
Yeah.
said that, Mark, or was that
I
you,
said.
Ev?
I said.
Ever.
Yeah. I
I
said
mean,
that.
but it's true
Okay.
though. He wants to be a yeah.
I don't think if he was to get traded to the Clippers, I don't think it happened because that's way too much money between Kawhi, Paul George, and Russell. That's a
Right.
lot of money. But
Yeah.
if he was to go there, I think that where the Clippers they lacked a floor general and a playmaker.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
don't think he would have to go there and that probably would be better for him as that type of role than a scorer
I.
because
Because
that
all you gotta do is have Kawhi low post. You can have Paul George run around the court off like screens and stuff like that, and you can just easily pass the ball. Just that simple.
I
And
hear.
then you have a guard that play defense as well.
I hear y'all. Don't get me wrong, but like when I think of Russell Westbrook, I don't think of a floor general.
right.
I mean,
When I
triple
think of a
double. What you
floor
mean
general, I think
assists?
of Chris Paul, Rondo, uh,
Yeah, but
them type of point guards. Russell Westbrook, I don't
yeah,
think
I feel
about.
what you're saying, but in this stage in Russ' career, I'm just going off the fact, he's not at the level of playmaking as a Rondo or Chris Paul, but
right.
Russell Westbrook, he's past 30, so he's not gonna be super athletic forever. So I think
And
him wanting
he
to be a
can't.
floor general is good for his game because he could try and mold his game in a different way. That if he
Right.
does that. Now, if he plays the same way he's been playing, then obviously it's not gonna fit.
So before King, I think King got something to say, but before King go, so is that even worth the risk though? We already got two superstars in there, well, superstar, whatever. Paul George and Kawhi, they want
Right.
to be labeled as.
I
Is that
think
even
I
worth the
think no
risk?
because you could get that you could get that for a cheaper contract. You can get a playmaker for cheaper.
Exactly, it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the
Yeah, so
risk
I
at
don't
all.
think it's worth the risk.
I
Like
think
Russ,
it's
Russ,
worth it.
Russ always had that I want to be the takeover guy
Right,
mindset.
that's
Right.
right.
And I think that's going to fuck up the whole team. Really, it's like bro, you don't need to do that. But as soon as you get 15, 20 points, it's coming. So it's like,
Yeah, and
and then you do
Kawhi,
it real
Kawhi won't
good.
say nothing to him. Kawhi just be quiet and just have an attitude and get his
Right.
way out.
And
You know how he do.
And
who's
then
But I
Paul
don't
George
know.
already dealt with it in OKC. So it's like, do we want to deal with that again?
right?
But you see that helped. But you see they
I
was
was just
doing
about,
pretty good
yeah,
for a
I
little
was
bit. They
about to
was
say,
doing pretty
nah, that
good.
actually helped Paul George. He averaged 28, so
That's what I'm saying. That's what
it
I'm
definitely did
saying.
help
But you
Paul
got
George.
you got Paul and Kawhi now. So it's
Right, and
like,
that's gonna be a problem.
That's more help. That's more firepower though.
He
I
would really
think
have to take that step
Because
back.
because you think about it, you see how they were struggling in OKC with just them two. So you add Kawhi, who was a more of a closer, stuff like that, and you
mhm.
have Russ, who is just the floor general, who's going to get everybody involved before he takes his shots. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you know he can't shoot, so we're not worried about his shooting. So only thing he can do is drive and pass.
right.
Right.
If I'm the Clippers though, they need a point guard. Don't get me wrong, because Patrick Beverly not gonna cut it. You want to take your team to the next level. Or if you
No,
do
he's
keep
not.
if you
Yeah.
do keep Patrick Beverly, I think like they should. I can't just see a team having a star guard, a star small shooting guard, and a star small forward, as in Russ,
Yeah.
PG, and Kawhi. Like, how's that going to work? If I'm the Clippers, I'd rather go out and
Yeah,
get
that's
a big
crazy.
man that's a star who I know is on the market, like Kevin Love. Just
Right.
plug Kevin Love in with Paul George and Kawhi. He's stretching the floor. He's grabbing rebounds. He's making the right passes. All them type of things. That's an example. That's just an example. But if I was in the Clippers shoes,
Well, I
that's what I
mean,
do.
Kevin Love is up there in age, so he probably be pretty cheap. You can give him cheap. I think
Right,
you can give him
right.
for a little cheap.
Oh, definitely.
But
Hold
last
on.
thing I'm gonna say.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead, King.
I say real quick, since we still on, the Russ, I'm gonna say this, since Russ is demanding lead of Houston. It's a couple players that that ain't want to stick with James Harden. You got Russ now, yeah, CP3.
Mm.
So my thing
I,
is James Harden the problem in Houston?
You know what?
he definitely,
I'm gonna
he
straight up,
def-
I'm gonna straight up and say it. I'm gonna straight up and be straight up and say it, bro. I think James Harden the problem. I love
yeah,
James
he
Harden. Don't
is
get me
for
wrong. I
sure.
think he's a problem because and like I said the other episode, it's crazy. 'Cause I just said this the other episode. Houston made all the right moves to get James Harden to the next level, to get that team to the championship. They got Dwight Howard. They added Eric Gordon.
That's
They
another
added
one.
they added Melo. They added CP3. Like they done did. They added Westbrook. That's five right there. They added Trevor Ariza. I can keep going. Like they added all the little pieces.
Dwight
Yeah,
Howard,
I said that.
All of them
Yeah,
wanted out.
yeah.
Like they didn't even
They,
want to do another season with they all wanted out.
but
So it's like
yeah.
you got to look
this
at the
man.
way you got to
Go
look at the
ahead.
way he played basketball. Like
But
I like
I don't
watching
think
it.
I don't think it's just James though. I think it's more so Mike D'Antoni, the way his playoff, the way his
That's what
system
I was
is.
Mm-hmm.
thinking.
He
It's the
wants he
system.
wants James Harden to be the ISO god, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right
that
about
pretty
that.
much changes his whole mindset up. So
Mm-hmm.
he just
And
you know
then
what I'm saying,
and
straight
then another
scoring.
thing to note with the Chris Paul, I don't understand why they traded Chris Paul so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because the year before they was literally one game from beating the Warriors, and then yeah, I know the next year they
But
lost, but
you
they
got to think about it though. Chris Paul is a I need the ball. I'm a floor general. James Harden is I
Right.
need the ball. I'm an ISO. I'm a floor general too. Westbrook, I
Exactly.
need the ball. I'm a floor general. I'm a triple double machine. So like, how is that shit going to work out? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, well, the good Chris Paul and James Harden year, they were technically they were the second best team in the league.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was working at one point, and and we got to remember that Golden State team. That's 7-3-9 plus KD.
Right.
So to take them to seven, and then in the seventh game, Chris Paul gets hurt. You never. I mean, I don't think they would have won Game 7, but they definitely could have won Game 7. This could be a whole totally different conversation right now,
Mm-hmm.
a whole
Yeah.
different outlook on everything.
That's a
But
fact.
I don't know.
My,
I'm not ready to say James Harden is the problem, even though he does have moments where he doesn't show up because
he
his
don't.
teammates
He
have
don't show.
moments where they don't show up too. Like this
Right.
year, Russell ain't played good neither.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
think.
got one last thing to say about Russ. It's hard for me to say this, but I feel he reminds me of like Allen Iverson after like his good years with the Sixers and
Uh,
stuff like that.
uh,
So you see how
Somebody
he had
Nuggets, Allen Iverson.
right, yeah. So you see how Allen he didn't want to come off the bench.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be a
Yeah.
starter. You know, he wanted to be that guy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Since the
You
Sixers
know who
years.
else? You know who else that sound like Mark?
Ooh,
Carmelo.
a little bit.
A
Yeah.
little
So like
bit.
they
I
get
like
up
that
they get up
AI
there in
one though.
age.
I like that AI one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI one is better.
Yeah. I like
Because
that.
you know what I'm saying, they get up there in age and they still want to think they the man, you know, but they keep going trade to trade and then they just keep getting worse. So they kind of like don't fit for a team for
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
real.
Since you brought up Harden King, I know James Harden said that he will. Do you think they'll trade James Harden if they trade Russell Westbrook, or do you think they'll keep Harden?
Mm, it
I
might
believe
be
they
bad.
keep him unless they can get something real good for him. Like
Yeah.
unless they can kind of like match it. Really, it's really no matching it unless you're getting somebody better than him, obviously. But I think the best way if they do trade it, like I say, if they do trade him, probably the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
They probably trade him and Ben Simmons, even though I don't think that's a good trade, but it's probably
You don't
something
like that trade?
I wouldn't like. I mean, it will hurt. It would help James Harden more because I don't think they not gonna let go and be. So he definitely gonna have that
Yeah.
big man, and then I think Doc Rivers gonna work well with him and
I
all
think
that.
that trade is good for both sides. I think it's good for Houston because if you trade Harden for Ben Simmons, you could reset, and now you got another young player to restart this process. Because I think it's safe to say that most likely they're not gonna. Houston is not gonna win a championship with
Right.
James Harden.
I honestly I like that you just said that they get another young superstar that they can reset with because I'm over here thinking in my head. I was hoping you got to me, but I don't. Uh, if you move Russ, you got to move Harden because the way Westbrook contract is set up is really messed up to where like you're not going to really get no caliber player that's going to come in and immediately change you guys' playoff chances going forward. Because you got to read the room. Warriors just coming back, Lakers just coming back, and the Clippers is coming back. Are you arguably better than any of those teams and the Nuggets? Mavericks is coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you better than any of those teams? You know what I'm saying?
So many teams.
So if I was them, I'd trade Westbrook and Harden and just reset. You know what I'm saying? So
you just
You know
blow
what I
up.
say?
yeah.
I say Giannis get traded for Harden. I say that. I say Harden go to Milwaukee.
What the hell you say that for?
I just feel. I feel like because he gonna be on the east side, so I feel like he might have a better chance than with Houston.
I don't even think Milwaukee would trade Giannis for Harden. I think they'd rather trade have.
Yeah,
rather
I don't
have
know
Giannis.
why. I don't know why Milwaukee would do that
Yeah.
because
I
Harden
mean,
is older.
They
Think
rather have
about it,
Giannis.
Giannis. I don't think Giannis wants to stay there because I feel like they're not making it past nobody right now, and I think they need more scoring power because once Giannis can't drive, he pretty much a liability.
But with
So,
but when you got a young star like that, you don't just trade the young star. Think about it.
I mean,
Cleveland knew
but
LeBron wasn't coming back in 2010, but they didn't trade him going up into that offseason. You know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
can't trade a player like that. Anthony Davis, another
I
example.
mean,
He-
yeah,
KD.
but I mean, KD just like left on his own.
KD too. You
Like,
know what I'm saying? Like Star Melo, they had to end up trading Melo because he requested it. But stars like that before
Yeah.
they signed that, you don't really they can't really get traded. They just leave. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, but he left the Knicks too. You know what I'm saying, and the Nuggets. So I mean, Carmelo, his situation was a little more like on him for real.
Hey, he took a while to lead the Knicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Giannis would have to like literally say, "I
Come
want
out.
out of
Yeah,
Milwaukee"
he would have
for
to
that
come
for
out.
even
Right.
to be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I honestly think if they do make the trade, it's not going to help either one of them. Really.
It's
Yeah,
really
I don't
not.
see.
It's
Gonna
really
be the same
not.
It's
situation.
not same
It's really
exact
not.
situation. Both playoff bounces.
Because then he ain't gonna have no
Yeah.
big man in Milwaukee, and then Giannis,
I
you
mean,
gonna build
I
again.
feel like he have a better chance with Milwaukee. You got Middleton, you got Bledsoe, you got somebody that can, you know what I'm saying, play defense and offense and floor general as well. You still got the Lopez twins. Who else? Pretty much
I
about
said
it
Lopez
for real,
twins
but-
getting up in age, man. They're gonna have to
Yeah,
get
but they
somebody younger.
might not.
Yeah.
I heard
But
what you saying.
before we wrap this up, though, matter of fact, go ahead and finish what you were about to say, Ev.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that.
But before we wrap this up, we gonna talk about one more player. Victor Oladipo is another one that it was a report that came out that said he would go up to opposing teams and be like, "Can I play for y'all?" Like in front of his teammates. Do y'all? I don't even think that's true. That sounds ridiculous to me.
That's OC.
I mean, I seen the videos of him talking to Miami.
That's
after
what I'm
they
saying though.
played.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
Yeah,
I
but like they do
don't
that
know.
regardless after the game. Like, bro, do you really think he would do that on purpose?
I think he like us. I think he like Miami. I won't be surprised if he ends up in Miami one way or another. I think he likes us. Now him just coming out blatantly doing it, I don't know, but I do think it was like some sort of kind of like, yeah, like I don't really want to be here no more.
Yeah, I'm
Right,
sure
he
he doesn't
shot.
want to be in Indiana
yeah,
no more.
yeah,
You in Indiana, bro, with nobody to help you. You like,
exactly.
I'm ready to get out.
I think they
Unless
would
somebody
trade.
instead of Miles Turner, that's about it. But
Yeah, I was just about to bring that
Yeah.
up too. I heard about a Miles Turner to Boston with a Kimba and Jrue Holiday.
Yes,
Now, that'd be
yes.
crazy.
the whole
That would
That'd
be
be
crazy.
crazy.
And they also the Celtics are also trying to do something else.
They trying to move into
I
the
don't know why I
lottery, I
can't
think,
think
or
of it.
something like that.
It's something else they trying to do.
The
The
Celtics.
Celtics always been one of them little sneaky
Mm-hmm.
trade.
Danny Ainge.
oh, Danny Ainge going, yeah, he
Yeah,
gonna,
Yeah.
Danny Ainge.
He gonna try something. He gonna try something.
that's what makes some moves. But Kemba for Drew,
Yeah, they
that-
something like that. That'd be nasty.
That's
Drew.
a
That's
little-
what it was. Kemba for Drew.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
tripping.
little risky.
No,
That's
risky.
not risky.
No,
that
that's
would make
beautiful.
that would make them
I
so
don't think
much
so.
better.
That is amazing if they do
Yeah.
that,
That would
bro.
make them
Because
so
Drew, I
much
think
better.
Drew played better defense. I
Oh
think
yeah, no
Drew played better
question.
defense.
No
Oh, yeah.
question.
By far.
Yeah. No
And
So
Drew-
I think that'll benefit them more.
Hey, honestly, honest to God, Drew Holiday is a better floor general than Kimba anyway. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Going
Really,
back
the
to
only thing
yeah.
Kemba could do better is
Score.
I don't even really want to say score
I can't even say
because
score,
it's not
honestly.
like it's by that much.
I can say shoot a
I
three
mean,
ball, bro, and that's
it's
it.
not a big ain't a big margin, but I feel like Kimba would just he step up more a little more. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know because Jrue Holiday is playing for New Orleans, so I mean we see Kemba do that because he's on a bigger stage and he
Right,
actually
yeah.
plays meaningful basketball. But Jrue Holiday with him, he's one of the best guard defenders in the league. Like when I watch other podcasts like the JJ Redick podcast and All the Smoke, they'll ask players about who's the hardest to guard and all that. And Jrue Holiday is the
Right.
name
Yeah,
that
he's
I
top.
hear the
His
most.
bag is
Yeah.
different. I
Yeah,
like it.
Like
bro,
even
definitely
even
got
when
it.
they talking about like just underrated players that don't get enough credit, I hear Jrue Holiday's name the most.
Yeah, that's mainly because they're in a smaller market in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's like you
Yeah.
barely hear.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with y'all. Definitely do.
But
But
yeah,
I
I would
think
definitely like that
DeRozan,
trade.
Oh yeah, DeRozan.
DeRozan though,
Ah,
DeRozan need to go to the Lakers. It's,
He
yeah,
does. I'm for it.
Cause
yeah.
Popovich gonna want something. He ain't.
yeah,
He
yeah,
might as give
Popovich
him.
not gonna let it happen. Popovich doesn't mess with the Lakers. Like you look back, there's Popovich will literally go out of his way to do something to mess us up, bro.
Yeah.
It's beef.
I just know for a fact they're not gonna have DeRozan or LA because like LA been rumored to the Warriors too. So, it's a lot going on. Y'all just gotta stay on the lookout for all of our episodes coming up. We staying high with NBA, staying high with NFL. NFL Sunday is coming up too as well. We're gonna recap on
Thursday
that.
night football tonight.
Yeah, Thursday night football, Colts and Texans is gonna be a good one. Real quick before we wrap it up, we about to end it. Who y'all got winning that game anyway? Colts Texans tonight. That's gonna be a hell of a game.
The
Titans. I got the Titans.
Titans, King, Q, what you got?
Titans off Bucks.
It's gonna be a good game, bro. The Colts defense is
It
crazy.
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the Colts just because they defense. I'm gonna rock with my boy, my fellow alumni Darius Leonard.
Okay,
Went to school with
okay.
him. You know what I'm saying? SC State in the building.
I'm not gonna. That's big that you went to school with him. But me personally, I got the Titans winning that game as well. I just feel like Ryan Tannehill, who's been having a very underrated season, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, not talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really not talked about. But he's been having a hell of a season so far as well. So I'm gonna go with the Titans to win that game. Honestly, I can't wait to watch that game.
Right, I'm gonna go with the Titans as well. Even though they look a little sluggish against the Bears last week, but they're gonna pick it back up. It's a rival game,
Yeah.
Division. So I got the Titans winning.
Yes, sir.
All right, we gonna see.
We thank y'all for watching another episode of Facts and Stats. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, you can listen to this episode and all of our previous episodes on every single streaming platform, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, wherever. And just stay on the lookout. And the last thing that I got to say, if you like what one of us is saying or you want to talk to one of us, you want to be a guest on one of the episodes, our mentions are, our ads are on the screen. You can just give us a mention. You can DM us on Twitter or Instagram as well.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. We'll get to y'all.
Facts.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.